And welcome back into the Bettor Half Hour, my favorite segment where we bring you veterans in the sports betting space. You've seen him on this show, as well as the Betting Exchange. He crushes every time he's on. My man from sunny Southern California, Arash Markazi. Arash, great to see you again, my friend.
Thanks for having me on again.
Of course, happy divisional round to you. Your Rams are moving on. I know you were in the SoFi building, first playoff win, if I'm not mistaken, in that building as well. Biggest takeaways from the -3.5 cover over the Cardinals?
It was the Rams defense, Alex. Again, I mean, there was a lot of questions about that team's health. They had concerns with their safeties, but the way that they were able to control Kyler Murray, less than 200 yards, 28-0 lead. I mean, that gives me a lot of confidence, Alex, with this team. Again, they were a Super Bowl pick at the beginning of the year. They fell off, but the way that they came back and again defensively won that game. A lot of headlines for Matthew Stafford. The defense was my biggest takeaway.
And going off the momentum from that Monday night win, we see the line right now against Tampa. Rams are getting +3. Of course, that line is subject to change. You go back to earlier in the first month of the season, Rams had a very convincing win over the Bucs. How much do you take from that into this weekend's game?
So I look back at that game, and I look back at the game that they had a year ago. The reason that they won those games, Alex, and the reason that I think that they could win again this Sunday, again, defense, pressure up the middle. That's how you defeat the Buccaneers. Pressure Tom Brady. You're talking about Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. The pressure that they put on him at the beginning of the season and a year ago, they're now going for their third straight defeat of Tampa Bay, and I think that they can actually make that happen.
And I want to take a kind of overall approach with you on this weekend and how you approach the playoffs. Do you have any betting do's and don'ts for people out there? As you know, we're less than 2 weeks here into legal sports betting in New York.
You know, the big do that I keep on telling people is wait until the day of the game. Again, this is 2022. We all have smartphones. We all have the apps. Don't, unless there's some crazy line that you think will move that you have to, you know, if you need that line. But wait till the day of the game. I mean, there's a number of things that can happen during the course of practice and stuff. A guy can get hurt. Things can happen. Things can change. Don't get too high on a team just because they blew out a team the week before. Again, I like the Rams perhaps this weekend, but it's not because they blew out the Cardinals. Forget about that. Forget about, you know, if a team wins by 25 points, it doesn't mean that they're going to win again by 20 plus.
Well, on that note, can the Bills go 7 straight touchdowns out the gate again? Probably not. That has never happened in playoff history. Probably won't happen again. All right, let's talk underdogs this weekend. And you can say D on the Scantron, none of the above, or E for that matter for these 4 games. Do you like a dog if you were to put money on a team? I know you said you might be leaning Rams on this weekend. No spread larger than the 3.5 in Cincy right now, outside of course, the Niners with that line moving right now with the Jimmy G suspect getting 6 at the moment.
So I'm going to go with that one. You just touched on it. San Francisco, again, people are talking about, listen, a California team going to Green Bay, the frozen tundra. What's that going to look like? It's a 6 seed versus a 1 seed. But, Alex, this San Francisco team is not a normal California team, and they're not a normal 6 team. They control the line of scrimmage. They are a very tough team. They are a physical team. Look what they did to the Cowboys in the first half of that game. They're a team, again, depending on what happens with the quarterback, would not be shocked if they controlled the line of scrimmage, pulled the upset, and defeat the Green Bay Packers.
I love it. That seems to be the sharp side as well. And again, kind of on a general note, we're big trends people over here on the show. Do you have any betting trend that sticks out to you that's helping you come to some conclusions this weekend on the slate?
That's the only thing I can think of. Again, unless something's happening with the quarterback in San Francisco, the Packers are getting 6 points because we are, historically speaking, right? It's January, it's mid-January, late January, frozen tundra, Lambeau Field. I mean, you don't think the Packers can lose, but you got to throw that all out the window. Deebo Samuel, the way that the San Francisco 49ers have played this week. Again, forget that they're from San Francisco. Forget that they're the 6th seed. Again, I think historically speaking, this time of year, you go back when it was Brett Favre, you go back to Aaron Rodgers. If the Packers are hosting a divisional or a conference championship game, they're not only giving 3, Alex, they're getting 6+ points.
Yeah, well said, Arash. How about if there is such a thing this weekend? Vegas sets mouse traps constantly. Is there a trap bet if you had to hypothesize on any of these 4 games?
It's so tough because, I mean, all these lines are fairly close. I mean, no one's favored by more than 6 points. So, again, these are all within a touchdown. I'm a little surprised by the way that that Tampa Bay is getting 3, because I don't think it's a fluke. The way that the Rams controlled that game in Week 3 this season, the way that the Rams beat Tampa Bay a year ago, a lot of the same players. And, again, that wasn't a fluke. Why? Because they won defensively. So, I'll gladly take the points, and I will take the Los Angeles Rams.
I love it. All right, how about on a prop bet side of things? You have a player sticking out, getting in the end zone, over-under on rush yards, receiving yards for me?
I'm going to stick with Los Angeles here because I really do like the way he's closed out the season and starting to play. Matthew Stafford right now, he's only at 1.5 touchdowns. He's going to get 2+, and that's at minus 230 right now. Alex, he's got more than 2 touchdowns or 2 or more in 7 of the past 8 games. He will have 2 touchdowns against Tampa Bay.
I love it. All right, I'll get you out of here with this, Arash. Best bet for the weekend. I won't hold it against you if you take your Rams.
You know what? I was going to go to the Rams, but listen, give me San Francisco and that 6-point spread. I really believe San Francisco could perhaps pull the upset, but even if not, with the conditions being what they are, the way that the 49ers control the line of scrimmage, maybe if the Packers win, it's by a field goal. They will not win by more than a touchdown.
I love it. I appreciate it. Arash, always crushing it. Enjoy the games this weekend. Make sure you check out Arash Markazi on Twitter and all other things social. When I return, we're looking at early line movement here. We got some numbers moving around. Ditch dog ducking. Don't go anywhere here.